5 o'clock. Monday, regular meeting, and we done did the pledge of allegiance and done a prayer, so I'm gonna go on to the, we don't have a guest speaker for this, do you?
No, sir.
Okay. I need approval on the minutes for February 2023, the work session, the public hearing, and the regular meeting.
Okay,
I
back
hear,
up to number 4, the approval of the agenda, Mr. Chairman.
oh yeah, let's back up there and get the agenda. I forgot. We need to approve the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda for March 13th meeting, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, you got a motion, you got a second?
Second.
Got a second. Any discussion? Let's vote on it. Mr. Burris?
Aye.
Mr. Pope? Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner? Chair votes aye. Okay, we didn't have a speaker, so now we'll go to the minutes for the work session, the public hearing, and the regular meeting. I hear a motion on that.
So move, Mr. Chairman, that we approve the meeting minutes of work session February 13th, public hearing of February 13th, and the regular meeting of February 13th, 2023.
Second.
Okay, got a second. Okay, any discussion on it? Not, let's vote on it. Mr. Burris?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Barner? Chair votes aye. Okay, on the agenda items. Now this is on selecting an engineer for the Albany Avenue overpass design presentation. We've had the presentation on it. I hear a motion that we accept. We had two, didn't we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The
But this
first
one,
you had two, and this
Okay.
one tonight was the second.
all right. I hear a motion that we accept one of these engineers.
I'll make a motion that we accept Atlas and what they have proposed.
Okay.
As they laid out with the packet they handed to us. I think it's a pretty good plan. I think it's thought through very carefully, and I mean, the credentials speak for themselves. Every one of them just about worked for GDOT forever, and that's ultimately who we're gonna answer to if something happens is GDOT, so.
Okay. We got a motion. Do we have a second? We'll get a discussion on it.
Mr. Mayor, I've been on that city council too long with them 12 years. Just can't figure it out. But I'll second it for discussion.
Okay, now do we have any discussion on it? Is there anything you wanna?
I'd just like to say, I was not aware we were gonna make a decision today. We've got another proposal, I think the other one is, the amount of proposals are not equal, and we have not discussed either one. I mean, we just had this come up today. I've got no problem whatsoever. I mean, they're a great company, Atlas Engineering, but I think that this commission needs to discuss it and go over it. There's a bunch of money we're talking about, a bunch of stuff. I'm in favor of tabling it, and we'll get it all together, then make a decision next meeting.
Yes.
Okay, we had their proposal, and that's the reason I asked you, do you wanna, which one? We've done been through their presentation, went through his. We're in order, aren't we?
If the commission
Council.
desires to make a decision tonight, certainly we are in order to do so. We've got a motion and second on the floor. However, if it is the desire of the commission to withdraw that motion and then choose to table it to allow for further study, that would also be in order. So both options are.
Okay.
And I know the first company, that came up, what was it, Design?
PDP, Practical Design Partners.
Practical Design.
Practical design.
And that's been a while back, and, like I said, I think Atlas made a great presentation and looked like they have a lot of experience and all, but the Practical Design Partners, they also, had a pretty good resume, of projects. I don't know if it's as extensive as Atlas, but, like I said, I don't have a problem with Atlas, but I think, you know, since there's been a time between the design partners and this one right here, if we could just meet again and kind of discuss this and, you know, do the, I guess, the pros and the cons of it and, comparison, because one of the things I know that one's, price is a lot less than the other, but, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean we always go with the lower amount, but that is a factor, so, if the chairman, you know, would, could kind of agree that we just table it to the next meeting, but in between that time, we can kind of talk about it, but I think both of them are great, but I did like the presentation that Atlas made.
Yeah.
I definitely like Atlas.
Okay. I'm, in favor of moving on it, because I think we done looked at Atlas, and we've looked at the other one. And, if you wanna, you'd have to withdraw your motion. I guess, is that correct?
And I'm willing,
If the commission desires to table it, then the motion is.
And then we'd have to make a motion to table it.
Well, I'd like to keep my motion on the floor.
Okay. We got a second. Any discussion?
again, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman.
I would, hope that, you know, we, talking about what, 2 weeks before we have the next meeting? That we could, at least, like I say, just do a comparison, you know, and like I said, it's been a while to make sure. And also, hopefully by that time, you know, Commissioner Bonner, he would be in the loop also, because this is a decision that we're gonna make, and we wanna definitely make sure we get it right and check all our options and everything, but, like I said, I did, again, appreciating the presentation that Atlas made, but also design, but right now, it seems like they have a lot of expertise, you know, and that's a factor, but I don't think 2 more weeks won't hurt anything. Is that when it need to be 2 weeks, Scott?
Yes, sir, it's 27th.
How long has it been since we've had that last one?
It's been a
It's
while.
been about a year, hasn't it?
No, it ain't been a
9
year.
months?
Probably about 3 months.
Yeah.
All right, now, if we decide to table it and say we jump with them, have they added a backlog? Have they added any other things in the mix? That's my biggest fear. You know, if they've added other things before us, and that was gonna prolong us and put us out, and these gentlemen's ready to hit the floor running,
Yeah, they were,
you know? That's what I'm looking
I
at.
was looking at their time too. I think Atlas had them beat into time.
Atlas had 'em
We was
beat.
looking at almost 3 years on the other one,
Yeah,
and, he's looking at 2
looking at a
years
year's
here.
difference.
Well, I think they had moved theirs up too, the design, what, practical
Didn't
design?
they say that?
Yes, sir.
I think they had moved theirs up to
Yeah.
like a 2-year
I
one.
think it's 2 and,
2 years.
they had
34
3
months.
years and they moved it to 30 months, I believe was what it was.
2.5.
Yes, sir.
2.5.
I think this is important enough that Commissioner Barnard needs to be here. I mean, this is a big deal, and all commissioners should have a say in it.
I agree with that
2
statement.
2 weeks, I
I
think,
agree with that.
won't make any difference one way or another.
Under, if I may, Ms. Counselor and Mr. City Manager and Chairman, County Manager and Chairman, excuse me. Yes, under those circumstances, I do agree that Steve needs to be here. I think we need all commissioners' brains and eyes on all paperwork. That is a very valid statement. And, being that statement was made like it was just then, I will lift my recommendation at this time and, or recall my recommendation. I don't think 2 weeks is gonna make that big of a difference. I still like who I like, but being the circumstances are what they are, I do believe Steve needs to have we need Steve's input,
Okay,
and I think that's just the simplest way.
you withdraw it.
I withdrew mine, yeah.
Okay,
appreciate
do I
that,
hear a
Curtis.
motion to table?
Yes,
I'll
sir.
motion that we table it because we don't have Mr. Steve here, and I don't wanna leave him in the dark.
And I withdraw my second on that, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman. And,
Withdraw the motion and the second. Okay. Now, we need a motion to table it, right?
I make a motion that we table it until we are all together,
Okay,
all the commissioners,
All present.
all present. Yes,
all right.
With the unstated, agreement that we'll make a decision at our next meeting.
yes, sir.
Yep, and not necessarily that we have to all be here, but because in between that time, we can get the feeling of Commissioner Bonner and everything, so just if he's not here, Jerry, I'm not here, at least, we'll all have time to look at it, and as long as it's a majority, then, but it would be nice if we could do it, unanimous and everything, but
Right.
sometimes circumstances prevent that from happening.
Okay. We're gonna table it to the next meeting.
Correct.
All right. All in,
Yeah, we need
All
a
in favor?
second, we need a second on the table and
yeah,
vote.
we got a.
Okay, I'll
got a
second.
We got a second.
Leonard seconded.
Oh, we
Okay,
do? Okay.
and, we need to vote on it. Mr. Burris,
Aye.
Mr. Pope,
Aye.
Mr. Lucas,
Aye.
Mr. Byrne. Chair votes aye. All right. Okay, let's go to the resolution 03 pledging support for the Albany Avenue overpass now. We can go ahead and do that.
Yes, sir. Like I
It
said,
need
if we
to be
need it,
tabled, too.
if something happens and we will have it, if not, then it would just be filed. Yes,
And
sir.
this is for the federal money.
Yeah, that's correct. That's why it was put together, but with the issue of having many more requirements with federal money, it probably won't be used, only for that reason. But I'd like to have it just in case something comes
Right.
up. It might be that, we're able to get money from DOT or something, and I will already have it in the pocket, so to speak.
Okay.
Under discussion, the city will adopt the same resolution at their next meeting.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Will we have to, see their adoption too? Or will you have to have a copy of their
Once we
adoption?
do it, I'll send it over to them, and they'll adopt it and sign it, and then we'll both have a copy each.
And their council has already reviewed and approved that language.
Okay. I hear a motion.
Chairman, I
Chairman.
move we approve resolution 2023-03, this pledges support for the Auburn Avenue overpass.
I'll second that motion.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion on it?
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to say that, I think that moving forward with this project, we need to keep the city in the loop and keep them apprised of what we're doing, because they have skin in this game also. And, I think it would only be fair just to keep them involved and, let them know what we're doing.
Under discussion along those lines, have we got an MOU with the city that explains all the steps we're taking and who's in charge, who's managing it, all
Well,
that?
we have one drafted, the county attorney drafted. The issue that still is standing out there is, depending on the design length for the overpass, the agreement we have with the city states that we'll collect all the monies up front for every collection that or every proceed we get, we hold on to it until we collect $14 million, whatever that amount is.
That's in the SPOS referendum requirement.
That's correct,
right?
right. But if the design is gonna take longer than the 14, 15 months to get, then there would be no reason to be shortchanging yourself and just plan to collect money, however much it is, divided over 24 months or 30 months or whatever. And then whatever difference is left off or left out, then split that based on the 60-40 split. So that way you're allowed to fund other things, but yet still collect all you need for that time period of 2 years, 2.5 years, whatever that will take.
So there won't, Jennifer, there won't be a
And
problem.
the way it was
with that
presented,
working?
the way it was presented tonight by Atlas would be 2 years. So you just take 24 months and divide that into $14 million, and whatever that is, that's what you collect and keep each and every month. And then what's left over out of that month's proceeds, you split that 60-40.
But y'all can have that hopefully done before we hire an engineer?
Yes,
We'd
sir.
have those agreements done with the city?
But I think in that contract, it'll state what they believe would be the design period, 24 months, 30 months, whatever it may be, and then we'll use those numbers to make that modification to the MOU.
And we would hire an engineering firm contingent upon their signing the MOU?
Correct, yes, sir.
Right,
Right.
okay, thank you.
Okay,
So do we have a second?
We do. Commissioner Burrs,
we
second.
got a motion and a second. Okay. Let's vote. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Mr. Bonner? Chair votes aye. Okay. The adoption of the Ware County Hazardous Mitigation Plan. The resolution for the 2023-04, adoption of the Ware County Hazardous Mitigation Plan. Okay,
I make a motion that we adopt the new resolution 2023-04 adoption for the Ware County Hazardous Mitigation Plan as set forth.
okay.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, let's vote on it. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Barnard in. Okay. Now we got a resolution for 2023-05, selection of a 2023 CDBG engineer. D. Y'all got those and you heard what you, discussion on those a while ago. I hear a motion on it that we select.
Well, I've looked at, Mr. Chairman, Mr. County Manager, I've looked at a couple of these, in depth a little bit. What I could find on Google search and all that about these companies. And the one that stands out to me is, I hope I'm saying this name right when I say it, is Hofstadter. It's the one that stands out to me. They're the ones that's got, in my opinion, things that they've done closer to Ware County, closer to, because they've got businesses that they've done in Pierce County, they've got things they've done in Charlton County, they've got things they've done in every county right here around us. And I was doing a little bit of reading on them a while ago, matter of fact, and they've actually got an office in Baxley as well.
Yeah.
I know T.R. Long's also got an office in Baxley too, but T.R. Long, I think they're ranked second, but
Okay.
Hofstadter's ranked third. And I just like some of the things I saw. I mean, even on their facial page, they got videos, they've got all kind of stuff on it. Has anybody,
Okay.
have y'all looked at those? And
Yeah. You look at it. We got a motion. You gonna make a motion on it?
I'll make a motion that, I'll go with, I hope I'm saying it right, Mr. Counselor, if I'm not, Hofstadter, however you say it, and Associates. I know that they're third down the list, but what they had on their website just sticks out to me.
Okay. Got a motion. You got a second? Okay. Don't get a second. What? Don't get a second. We have to,
So I think the motion has failed for lack of a second, so now the floor is open back up. If
Open
there's
back
another
up.
motion to be heard.
okay. The-
Mr. Chairman, based on the recommendation of the manager and engineering department, and based on the grading system that they used, make the motion that we follow their recommendation for statewide engineering. And let me state, there's no reflection on any of these engineering firms because they're all top of the line. But based on our needs, the county manager has recommended statewide based on their score for the CDBG upcoming project.
Okay,
Now, second his motion there, Mr. Chairman.
got a motion and a second. Okay, any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I pretty much like to ditto what Commissioner Pope said there. I really don't know any of these individuals personally, but statewide, I think it's already been mentioned that they do good work. They were the one that was rated, I guess, the highest when they did this rating among the staff. And then you had TR Loan that come right in, I mean, real close there. And main thing, we just want to get what's, best for the citizens of Ware County. And as Commissioner Pope alluded to, I think all these are great firms. And if Mr. Wallace, if he could kind of come up and kind of
Is it? Oh, you said the back.
give us a little synopsis, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, and as far as this firm and what kind of dealing you had with them.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Statewide Engineering's got an office over in Douglas, Georgia. They've worked on CDBG projects in the past here in Ware County. Projects that county manager mentioned in the Palmetto Estates area. I think there were 3 or 4 CDBG projects they did, wrapping it up around 2017 with the final one. They're out there in that area. And then we've had the recent CDBG project with Emerson Park. TR Long was the design engineer on that. And just began the construction on that project, and they were, all these different groups were rated, and they all did a great job on their proposals, and they were, pretty tight scoring. And I think the.
Well, y'all come up with that scoring, who does the scoring?
It's
It
all.
looks like it's an inside deal with you and Brandon and Scott.
It's
I mean, this is the inside deal, I already know it.
It's set up with the CDBG. They have
I'm
all
tired of
the
it.
criteria and everything listed there to score the proposals by. And
Yeah.
that's what we're used.
I know. Thank you.
So have we had, I know statewide, you say they've done CDBGs.
They've done, all of them has.
So all of them have done TR Long and
Yes.
I can't, Hostler. They've all done CDBGs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you don't have a problem with statewide, I mean,
No, Statewide's a good engineer.
okay.
They're all well qualified to do CDBG projects. Yes, sir.
Okay.
We probably
Okay.
had more than 6 put in for it. These were just the top 6, right?
No, those
Total
were
of
the-
6.
Oh, those were the total?
Yes, sir.
Those in total. Okay. Any more discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Brandon. Okay. Let's vote on it. Mr. Burris,
Aye.
Mr. Pope, Lucas,
No.
chair votes no. Gotta die. Okay. Yeah, let's go to, we had time on that, so we.
I'll double check Ware County's local ordinances. I'll be honest, it's been a while since we've had a tie. I know some counties have specific language about what occurs in the event of a tie, so if you all will allow me, I will do that to be sure.
You can vote in the tie?
No, sir, I do not think I get a vote.
So you're asking us to delay, let you know
Delay
now
it.
or next meeting? What are you asking?
Well, I mean, I think for tonight, for the purposes of tonight, we're probably going to be at a tie. I don't think that's gonna change. So, you know, we'll look into it and see what that means for you all. And if we need to take another vote at the next
You ain't
meeting, we
lost yet.
can do
Just
so.
have to carry it over to the next meeting then, ask you to vote on it again.
It's nice to
Okay.
meet you.
If it goes to the next meeting, it's just starting over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
We start over, right?
We'll double check and just make sure your ordinances
Yeah.
don't have any specific guidance on it. I'm not aware that they do, but we will double check that.
Okay. Let's move on.
I don't have a pronunciation of the name on that card.
Okay, thank you.
This
Thank
is,
y'all, I appreciate y'all's time.
Okay.
thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Carl. Be
Ordinance,
careful.
2023-02, establish maximum speed limit on Johnny Minchie Road. Y'all want to increase that speed limit?
Yes, sir, I think it's a good idea. I make a motion that we accept ordinance 2023-02 to establish a maximum speed limit of 45 miles an hour on Johnny Minchie Road, or raise it to 45 miles an hour on Johnny Minchie Road.
I second
got
that
a
motion.
second?
I got to second that motion.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on it? All right, let's vote on it. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay. Now, let's go to the alcohol license application, F.
I make a motion that we accept this from Mr. Patel on the alcohol license application. I believe the chief has already hit on the topic that it's not gonna be for distilled spirits. That would be a totally separate item. This is just gonna be for beer and wine only. So I make a motion. It's basically all we're doing is changing the name on it. We're just changing it from Mr. Rouse to
Right.
Mr. Patel. That's all we're doing.
Yeah. Okay, got a motion. Do we have a second on that?
I second it.
Okay, got a motion and a second on that license. Let's, vote on it. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
The chair votes aye on that. Okay. Now we have some appointments for, the Ware County, for the appointment to the Waycross Ware County Land Bank Board. Okay,
Chairman, I move we appoint Commissioner Timmy Lucas to that board.
And
okay.
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion and a second.
I'll third it.
Okay. All right. Let's vote on it. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope?
Aye.
Mr. Lucas? You can't vote for yourself. Chair votes aye. All right, this is B, appointment with the Ware County Board of Assessors. Now, Ms. Tyner has resigned because she's too busy. Got a lot going on, I understand. So she's asked to resign, first, let her resign and appoint. We have one Miss Kathy Mixon says she'll take that job. So do we hear a motion to accept her?
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we accept Ms. Kathy Mixon as a member of the Assessor Board.
Okay.
I'll second Miss Kathy Mixon.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on it? Okay. Let's vote on it. Mr. Burson?
Aye.
Mr. Pope? Mr. Lucas?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay. Now, we got any county manager report?
I don't have anything, Mr. Just to mention, the regional T-Splosh meeting is Wednesday at 1:30.
And
That's
that's
right.
that's in Valdosta?
Nashville, Georgia.
Nashville.
Nashville?
Now, there's a transportation meeting too, ain't there?
Yes, sir, and the TPCC is Thursday at 10 a.m.
That's
Okay.
here.
Yes, sir.
In reference to the meeting in Nashville, Scott, did they ever reply back whether that would be online where you could?
Haven't heard, but I'll check first thing in the morning and
Okay.
see. I think she said that they're able to do that.
Okay, and that's the one where the chairman and the mayor have to
Yep.
be at?
They have to be
Yes,
there.
sir.
Be on the round table. Let me ask you something, is that, Roscoe Mixon Road that we approved to do that right away? I thought Mr. Tommy Rouse
There was.
passed on now, but we
There was
need
an
to.
email that the county attorney sent as far as cost, because they would have to endure the cost to have that done, but I don't know that we heard back, from what I remember.
He
Do you
did
know?
call me, I mean, we sent him basically the plan of action that we had done for the previous road that was, realigned. And so we
Right.
sent him that plan of action, and I did speak with his counsel one day, and he was working on, the deeds and the plat and those type things. Now, it certainly, I think, has probably stalled in the meantime, but, the ball is in their court, as they say. And so I certainly am, ready, we stand ready to get it done, whenever they decide that they want to do that. But I think everybody's on the same page as far as the steps that need to be taken.
Okay. All right, so I think they done got the deed though, I think I saw David one day and he said he had transferred that deed.
They had a quitclaim deed, but any property that would be given to the county would need to be a warranty deed if the county is going to rely on that for the purpose of a future road.
Okay. So it's not completed yet, though. It should be shortly.
And if it's the direction of the commission, I'm glad to follow up with their council this week and just see, what else he needs from us as far as moving forward.
And
Okay.
this is the road dealing with the church.
The church.
With the church.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there anything else?
Well, Madam Attorney, again, on the, like I said, when we got a tie vote like this.
Yes.
We got to find out.
I was just looking through your ordinances to see, some counties, the chairman does not vote, and so then in a case of a tie, that would be the tiebreaker. That's not the occasion here. I just wanted to see if there was any specific language that addressed what would happen in a tie, or else you would just go into the normal kind of Robert's Rules of Order. I did glance through real quick, and I did not see any specific language, but before giving you a formal legal opinion, based on my quick research on the phone, I would like to have a little bit to research that, if you'll allow me.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
Any more from the manager?
No, sir, I don't have anything. No, sir.
All right, any commission comment?
I don't.
Well, I do. I want to know, we don't get to get in discussion on how we rate people and stuff like that. It just comes from a head that we do this.
basically-
I want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little upset over it.
Well,
And,
the way it's put out is a committee of 3 typically rank them, review them, and then rank them based on criteria that's set by the state. But you can have a committee, you can have a committee of 3 of any one. You could have 2 commissioners and 1 staff, or 2 commissioners and someone else, an independent person, and do it that way.
So, council, as a commissioner, we don't have to know about that until they done it.
Typically, it's just done as
I don't know what I'm doing here. If we ain't got no say-so, what are we
Yeah.
doing up
Yeah,
here?
well, and
I
you
mean, if
can
y'all
it
gonna
that
do
way.
it all and just say, let's go by to him, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
Chairman,
If this is law, then I'm wrong.
Chairman, I think historically in this county, the commissioners have given the authority to staff to, meet with everybody, review their credentials, rank them, and then make a recommendation to the board, and then the board can proceed on that recommendation or not. If it's the desire of the commission, y'all certainly have the right to change, as your
Yep, you
county
could act-
manager was just detailing that.
I mean, actually, you could form a committee of 2 commissioners and someone else, however the commission wants to do it, but typically, like she said, staff's always done it. So you could actually scratch this and then let another committee altogether do it, because you hadn't acted on it yet, except for that, tie vote.
Yeah.
And, Mr. Chairman, that's one of the reasons why, when I got my packet and was looking through it, I called and talked with the, engineer this morning, because that's what I wanted to find out, basically how does this process work, and he was explaining to me just like Scott did, And another thing we got to bear in mind is that when you're getting ready to rate these people and all this here, you got to have had some kind of inner workings with them. And a lot of us maybe didn't have, and I know you got the expertise in, road building and all that, but the county engineer, I guess the assistant to him and the manager, I guess this is why, off the top of my head, it would seem like we were people that would be more in a position, not saying someone else can't do it, to where they could, cause they've had working with them, that's why I asked Brandon, hey, how did y'all go about this? And he explained to me, because when I first saw it, I was wondering the same thing, well, okay, do you just randomly pick these people? But then getting more into it, I could see why these were the people, because you just couldn't go pick any 3 people. You got to have somebody that at least got some kind of knowledge about these people and their working relationship. And, if we changed it, I think, hey, you got expertise in there, so I think, be better suited to be on something like that than I would, because I haven't ever done any road building or anything. I built some high, but not done building any road.
I probably work for every one of them engineers that's on that list.
Yeah.
I've
Work
got no
time.
problem with the chairman and the manager and the engineer being on the judging
Yeah.
committee.
Yeah.
They need to be, I don't see why, every time we judge somebody though, it's just a certain group judging them, and we go by what they say.
You be on there with Scott and Brandon, I'm fine with that, I'll vote for that, yeah, you
And
be on it.
Another thing too, basically what they do when they do all this rating, remember it's a recommendation, but it's left up to the commission to make the ultimate decision.
I would think, because Brandon and I was on the first committee, I would recommend it be a total of 3 different ones altogether, and then compare the 2 after they're done. That
That's
way
what I
it's
think.
independent.
And I think, like I say,
I think the commission, that's
You could
our
have,
place.
you could have
We
2,
should be
you could have
picking
2
the-
commissioners on there.
The county set us
Or
up here to do
you
this.
really could do it, if you want to notice it, you could do it if somebody wants to come in and listen, and notice it as a meeting of 3 commissioners and rank them that way.
I'm
Yeah.
not disagreeing with anybody, but it just, I don't like the way that's done. I don't like the way that's done.
again, that's why I called him this morning to find out.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, I don't have a problem. I think you would be great on there because you got some expertise if we so decide to go down that road to change the way we're doing it.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'd just like to change that way.
And the reason why I was saying that
want-
is, if
I
you
want
use
somebody
2
else.
off the first committee, if they go and change the way they rank the others, then it's not gonna be credible.
Right.
See the point?
Right.
So that's why I'm saying use a whole different committee altogether, and then see how those numbers play out.
Mr. Chairman, my recommendation would be not for this specific project, but for every CDBG, let's get a plan of action that this commission particularly is comfortable with. Commissions in the past have done it the way that it's been described today.
Right.
And they use the criteria that the state gives. But you all, if you desire, just as Mr. Moy just said, if you desire for the entire board to be involved, is if you have a quorum present, that's why he's saying 2 or less. If you've got 3 or more commissioners present, that'll have to be an advertised, notice meeting, but that's still fine if that's the desire of the commission. So you all will still use the same criteria, that's state driven, but, as far as who's studying and making the recommendations, if this board decides that you all would like to do that, or you'd like to have a certain member of your board work with other people, the power's in your hands if you're unhappy with the, how it's arranged currently.
Well, see, just like before we ever talked to Atlas, we would have went with that other engineer, just because they picked him. That was the way it was going, until I fussed about it. Then here we got Atlas, and I didn't know them.
Well, I don't think when we
You know-
went with that design partner,
Yeah,
was
we
that done
was
the
gonna
same
approve
way? I don't think that was done.
No,
the
it,
same.
no, it was,
Those
they
are two
created that
different-
preliminary design.
Right.
That one that we've been
And
using.
then we just had them to submit a thing. because-
Proposal.
Right. So it wasn't the same way.
Right.
It was,
That's kind of two different.
Yeah. And if you advertise for RFQs of proposals for the overpass, you basically do it the same way. You could come up with your own criteria and then rank them the same way.
But we haven't
Same
done any
process.
advertising for RFPs.
Correct? Nick?
We haven't advertised for RFPs. So,
And that would be a decision of the commission if you wanted to advertise.
no, that's right, we have not advertised that one.
right.
But
That's correct.
Wasn't there something about, for design engineers, or we wouldn't have to submit that out for bids, or it was something to that effect, I can't remember what it was, but.
Are you referencing that, state law has certain professionals that aren't required to
Yeah.
go out to bid? And so
Right.
engineers are on that list, but that
Right.
does not mean you
don't have
are required that if you would desire to bid that out, you
Right.
certainly may.
Right.
But it is an allowable exception to not do that.
So that's why we always ask for proposals and not bidding, right?
Well, and engineers are certainly a specialty where, they may have different designs of the same project, may look differently for those professionals.
I've got one question, Mr. Brandon. I'd like to ask Mr. Brandon. I think he's the front man and would know more, you and him, Mr. Scott and Mr. Brandon. All the companies that put in for this, the 6 companies that we have listed, how many of them has worked in Ware County? I know Statewide has, I know TR Long has,
Probably, Hostetter's been here too.
Hofstadter's been here too. I'm still saying his name, though, I know I am. But your synopsis is Statewide would be the number one, right?
I have direct knowledge of working with them in the past here at Ware County on the CTG project. I do not have, who are the rest of the firms?
Let's see.
There's a bunch of them on there. Let's see.
Carter and Sloop,
No.
Yeah, I've had them.
JMJ,
Don't know.
Roberts Engineering,
I have heard good things about them, but I haven't
Yeah.
worked with them personally.
TR Long, Trent Long.
And that TR
And
Long,
then-
that's the one out of Baxter, right? That's their home office out of Baxter, TR Long?
TR Long had it.
Hinesville.
Hinesville, hey, Hinesville.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
They
they got
the one-
a big shop over in Baxter too.
They're the one that's doing the wind clay project, right?
Carter and
Yes,
Sloop,
sir.
I worked for them. I worked for every one of them. Every one of them good engineers.
Every
But
firm
I
on
just
there
can't
seems to be
understand why you just pick, certain ones pick. I ain't going against none of it. But the way it was picked, just you and Scott and, who else was it?
Gene.
Gene.
Gene. Why did y'all get to pick them and we don't know nothing about them?
And again,
I mean,
Mr.
we
Chairman,
didn't-
I'll answer that question one more time, is just that was the process that the commission has delegated to staff in the past.
Right.
If you all desire to change that process, that is up to you all to do, but they did that because they were directed to.
Who did that? Is it on record that they did that here?
Yeah,
Not since
CDB,
I've been here.
right, CDBGs in the past, that's how they've been handled in the past. But we hear you, and if you want that changed, then I think that's for the commissioners to do
Yeah,
so.
change it.
It used to be, before the new rule with CDBGs, it used to be if you used your own local money to pay the engineer, you didn't have to go through that process. You could just go call one up and let them do it, as long as you paid it with your local money. But
Pick one.
now that, no matter whether you use local money or not, you still got to go
Still
through
have
that
to bid
process.
it out. Yeah.
It's not bid out, it's, you submit.
No, you just choose him and then,
Yeah.
They submit proposals, you advertise for proposals, all the engineering firms, and everybody did a great job with their proposals. All of them look good, they all look qualified. They submit the proposals and then they're scored, and the scoring system is used to determine the best proposal.
Well, you're the one that is out there with them on a daily basis. You're answering their questions, they're answering your questions. In your opinion, your professional opinion, you pick statewide.
I had a tie, on my review, my personal review, I had a tie for number one between T.R. Long and statewide engineering, and I think I had Hofstadter third on my list.
Okay, all right, that's fair enough for me.
I have worked with both of those firms personally here in Ware County, and I know they have done design projects here in Ware County.
And we got T.R. Long doing one right now in Emerson.
Yes,
And I've rode over there and they seem to be doing, I mean, they hit the ground running. They're
Yes.
doing great.
That's the one in Emerson Park.
Yes, sir. That's the one in Emerson Park right now. And that was a facelift that we've been waiting on for years, and they're doing exactly what they said they were gonna do.
yes.
So I totally agree with you there.
But in light of the vote, you could scrap that, like I said, and create another committee altogether. It's the commission's decision.
Yeah. Well, I think somebody else ought to be on that committee.
I don't wanna be.
You know, I think a commissioner or somebody ought to be on there.
I think it'd be a good spot for the chairman.
I think the chairman,
I
we'll
think-
appoint the chairman to be on that committee.
Yeah.
You the
I don't
one,
want
Mr.
it.
Chairman, you're the one with all the knowledge and
Well,
experience when it
yeah,
comes
I
to this.
work for all those engineers, and I ain't got nothing against them. But we just keep picking the same one.
Well,
And,
I think we're all in agreement.
We're not, I mean, you say we picked the same one, I mean, just like T.R. Long, they doing the
Yeah.
Emerson Park now. And now this time, it's got statewide, they're doing, I mean, they
Statewide
came
does a
out on
good
top. So it's not the same one, but, you know,
Okay,
next
let's-
time it could be Hosflepper, or however you pronounce that name.
He's on his car runner.
Well, I still can't.
I can't say it. I cannot say it.
Hofstadter.
we'll have to do a resolution, we have to do that in a meeting, won't we?
As far as changing the process?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what, maybe we want to study on what the different options are, as far as the arrangements, who will serve on the committee, and yes, if the commission will give direction to staff, I'm sure they'll be glad to carry that out.
Okay.
And that will be only for CDBGs.
Do we need to do that on this,
Or you could do it for any of them that come up. I mean, if you want to set a policy that way, you could do it that way.
I'm talking for CDBGs.
Yeah.
You could do it
this
specific
one
to
for
CDBG, or I think Scott's saying that, more generally, for any project you have where you're, hiring an engineer, the policy could apply to that. Just depends on how broad you want it to be.
If the commission decides, to advertise for RFQs for the overpass, for instance, it's, instead of just pulling somebody out of the hat, then go through and look at them and rank them.
But for the purpose of tonight, just so we are all on the same page, it is my belief that if there is no language in your ordinance that states otherwise, that a tie vote, 2-2, because you all are a county where your chairman does vote. There are some counties where the chairman does not vote and he would break the tie, but because you all are a 5-person commission where the chairman does vote, the 2-2 tie would be basically a no action. And then we would come back, and if anyone desired to make a new motion next week, when then we maybe had our full board and there were 5 members, we could do that at that time. Again, I do want to review the ordinance and just make sure there's nothing that states to the contrary, but that's my initial opinion on
So
it.
following what you just said, that trend, so basically it's almost kind of like, until you find something different, it's almost like it's tabled.
Well, it is tabled, that's exactly, it's
Right.
essentially a no vote,
Right.
because I believe a majority vote is required for action of the commission. So you could have if you have a quorum present, you have 3 people present, a majority vote would be either a 3-0 or a 2-1 vote. That would be majority, if you only have 3 people present. If you have 4 people present, as part of the quorum, then that changes the number required for a majority vote. So that's what I'll be going back to review, is just make sure that there's no language that states anything otherwise outside of the majority vote required.
You'll have that next meeting so we can try
Of
again.
course,
Maybe.
and I'll have it to Scott before then.
Okay.
then we'll maybe make a decision on this review board for the CDBG, makeup of that.
And on that CDBG, that's, we only get, I mean, just like, if we get the CDBG now, what, it'd be like 2 years or something like that before you can even apply for another one?
Yes, every 2 years, would be the only way, that's correct.
So that committee really wouldn't have to do
Now,
anything?
if you apply 1 year and you don't get awarded, you're able to apply the very next year.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all stopped that a while ago. Now, another thing I want to ask, because I'm not satisfied with that. You saying that Atlas and this other engineer, and we have not advertised for no engineers. So we need to advertise for engineers on that bridge then. Or you set it out for advertisement. Is that correct?
If that's the commission's direction, then absolutely, staff is, I'm
You
sure.
don't have to,
Right.
it's just
But you
a
can.
suggestion. if
We
you-
don't, we just do it any way we want to, huh?
I think if we do that.
Professional
Mr. Chairman-
service, and you don't have to advertise for professional services.
Mr.
If
Chairman.
we're not, we messing with the public,
Right,
and we should be putting it out for bid.
well, I'm
That's
gonna,
what I was always told that that's the way you gotta do it.
I wanna
And then y'all
piggyback
tell me
off-
now, we ain't gotta do it that way. So who's right and who's wrong?
Well, in this case, you really wouldn't ask for a bid from an engineer, you'd ask for a request for qualifications. Usually an RFP is coming back with some dollar amount. But a RFQ is basically what these companies did for the CDBG. They just said, here we are, here's what we've done, here's our experience, here's our staff. And you go through them and you just kind of rank them and try to figure out which one would be the one you would want to go with. You could do it that way, but you don't necessarily have to do it. When it comes to engineering services, you can, if you know somebody you've worked with before, you can call them up and say, hey, send us a proposal. Tell me how much you'll charge to do this. And if you like it, then you go with them.
But I don't know, if you get a couple that don't, though, you don't go that way. See,
Yep.
that's what you get right now.
Right.
That's what
That's
we
what
got.
I mean. You have to.
That's what we
figure out how
got. That's what I'm saying.
But-
We
but
got
Chairman,
that same thing you just discussed.
To answer your
It ain't
question
right.
is, if it's the commission's desire to, do a request for qualifications for the Albany Avenue project, certainly that's well within your right to do that, if you all desire to do that.
I think we're gonna be kicking the can down the road if we do that now, cause we're gonna be putting the people off a little bit further. That's what I think. I mean, we all decided that we were doing this for the people of Ware County. They're the ones that voted in the splosh. We told them we would get the bridges built if they voted in,
Okay.
and now we're pushing it on down the road.
Scott, just put it on the agenda then for next time, we're gonna vote somehow or another to agree whoever's gonna be the 3 committee members.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, sir.
And that's for the CDBG.
Or any kind of engineering that we're gonna do.
So
Need to
right
have
now, it's tied vote
Tony committee.
on the, CDBG, design engineer.
Yep.
It's a tie.
Tie.
Okay.
Okay. Any more comment? That's all. I hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Be
Meeting adjourned.
Be careful.